Where do I even start with this video? Got a lot to unpack here. Been wanting to make this video for a while now. Been wanting to talk about some things. This video may offend some people, so if you're offended, don't take it personally. Leave your comment down below. I'd like to see what you guys have to think about this subject as well, but I just want to kind of talk about where my mindset is at in 2024 with everything that's been going on in our hobby, recreational as well as commercial. There's a lot I want to talk about. Remoteid. We're going to talk about that as well. And we're going to talk about what I feel about Remoteid and where it currently sits and how it's affecting the hobby in so many negative ways. Remoteid, as well as other ridiculous regulations that in no way, shape, or form come close to the safety risk of our hobby. Let's start at the beginning when I started this whole drone YouTube journey. YouTube was kind of separate from the drones. I did start out my YouTube channel with something completely different than drones. But let's talk about how this dog won't stop barking. So being in YouTube, I'm going to try to talk quietly so we don't upset the dogs and get other distractions going. When I first got into drones, sharing that experience on YouTube was definitely one of the first things I wanted to do, was share my experience, kind of document my progress along with the whole journey with drones and learning about drones, and maybe I could learn some things and teach some other people. And it was really great. So I found out and saw FPV drone racing for the first time. FPV had my attention a lot. I dove deep into the FPV hobby, and let me tell you, it is one of the best free feeling experiences that you will feel. Out of body experience. Your mind is completely focused on the task at hand, which is flying FPV freestyle, and it's immersive, and you're enjoying it, and it has so many great properties that are good for you mentally. I saw this from the very beginning, and I loved it. Documenting my journey with drones on YouTube was a lot of fun, and it was something I enjoyed. I enjoyed sharing my experiences and interacting with the community online. And as throughout the years, I got to know the community and people in the community and build some really great relationships. And that has been awesome, like going to meetups, meeting new people, hanging out with people, flying with people, sharing the same love, the same hobby together. There's nothing else like it. There's nothing else like it in the world. You have to experience it. If you've been flying FPV or drones, solo your whole entire time, you need to find people. You need to network, get with people, because that's what makes it just takes to the next level, right? But then that's where some problems are going to lie that we're going to talk about. And some really big rifts that I've seen in our community, and it's because of these regulations. It's because of the government. So, this video is going to be all over the place, but I'm going to try to keep it as organized as I can. I took a break from flying drones, from flying FPV, and keep in mind, this is something that I've been doing since 2016, all in. Every single day, I'm thinking about it, I'm looking at it, I'm researching it. I can't wait till the weekend comes so I can fly, But trying to juggle what I love so much and working and making money to support my family, two different things, right? So I'm working Monday through Friday full time, trying to make good, honest living, and still do the FPV drone hobby on the side, right? Well, a lot of weekends come and I have the day to fly. I have the day off of work, but the weather's no good. It's raining, it's overcast like today. At least it's not raining today. But that's just one of those disappointments. I recently took a break from the FPV and drone flying, and I got into the world of RC drift cars. Now, before you shy away and say, I'm not talking about drones anymore, I guarantee you, if you're into FPV, if you're into technology, you're going to like what I have to say about RC drift cars. So stick around for a little bit of that. So RC drift hobby is completely different, yes. However, you still get a very immersive feeling, almost out of body feeling. very close, similar to what FPV feels like. You actually become the car, like the car on the track, and you're sliding around, and you're just so visually stimulated on how good this car looks around the track, and you've worked hard on it, you've built it, just like FPV drones. You build drones, you build the cars, you got these awesome parts on it looking nice, and you're just having a great time, right? You're having a great time, you're immersed, and guess what? Here's the best part. There's no government involved. No government, nobody to tell you, oh, you can't do this, you can't do that. Now, there is certain rules that when there's track events going on that will be in place, but nothing to say that you're going to get in deep trouble with the government, right? Well, when we talk about drones, that's another disappointment. It's the government, right? So, when they tried to say, oh, we need remote ID, it's going to make things safer. Okay, well, the way it was implemented, okay, fine for the camera drones, right? Camera drones, they just have the remote ID able to be built in from the manufacturer. Everything just works, right? So it's easier, way easier when you're doing remote ID with camera drones, right? And then you got the FPV part of things, where you're supposed to solder on, this expensive module and find room on your frame to put it on there. And find one, first of all, they're hard to find. A lot of them are on back order, or they were. And if you find them, they're expensive. They're $100, for a good one. And then you crash your FPV drone, you fly it, guess what? You're going to break it. So guess what? You're going to have to buy another one, and another one if you fly FPV Freestyle, okay? So it's not fair. Why should it be so much harder for one part of the hobby to comply with remote ID, right? But so easy for the other. You see where this is building that divide I was talking about? This is another letdown and another divide. Now, when I talk about divide, I'm talking about how now you have a group of pilots who can easily comply with remote ID, and it really doesn't affect them in nowhere near the same way that it affects the other side of the hobby, FPV. Get where I'm going with this? So now there's a rift in the community because, what if I'm that FPV pilot that's trying to comply, but I can't afford to keep buying a module. My module breaks that day. Well, now I got to worry about someone in the community possibly turning me in or selling me out to the FAA. And before you say, oh, no, that doesn't happen in our community, it does. I have proof. We've seen it. Wesley Varty, for example, one of the pioneers for our hobby, somebody who's pushed the limits to make the technology amazing like it is, and somebody sold him out, right? Let the government do their job. If they want to catch him and do something to him, that's on the government. Why would you help turn him in? No one was injured. Nothing got hurt. No one got hurt. No property got damaged. So that's just one example right there. Another letdown, right? As you keep getting these letdowns in a hobby, it's killing me. Every time I get let down, it's just like, oh my God, there goes one other thing against the thing I love to do so much. There's another knock at it. And they keep coming, right? There's more letdowns. Let's talk about some of the things I've seen. I'm talking about some of the things I've been throughout the years with YouTube. And now let's go ahead and talk about another letdown, right? So for the camera drone community, you have another letdown. You have to now worry about, oh my God, is the USA gonna ban DJI so we can't use DJI drones anymore? The #1 camera drone that everyone has used in this country for how long, that works perfectly. Now we got to worry about our government taking that away. So you see all these disappointments are stacking up. They're stacking up, and it's killing me. It's killing me because I'm seeing my hobby that I love so much, that I've put everything into since 2016. Since 2016, this hobby that I've loved so much and dear to me. And edrone has not just been a channel for me. It's been a part of me. edrone has been a part of my being, right? An extension of me, a part of my identity. It's really changed a lot about me, just being around drones, being involved with the hobby, the community. But man, there's all these letdowns that kill me mentally. I get depressed. Think every time another story comes up. Oh, they're going to ban DJI. Oh, now we got remote ID. Oh, and now pilots are turning in other pilots. It's killing the hobby. That's why the hobby can't grow and flourish. We need the hobby to grow and flourish because no one's been injured. No one's been killed. No one has been seriously to the point where we need to have all these restrictions in place to daunt our hobby. When I can go to an RC drift track when it's raining outside, okay? When it's raining, I can go inside to an RC drift track and have a blast experience in another hobby where it completely does the same thing and takes my mind off of life, and I'm able to get in that and just feel the hobby and just have that release of my mind, you know, from my body, that out of body experience, which we all crave and we all need that. It's so helpful. But I can do that with RC drift cars as well, and I don't have to worry about any of these letdowns and all this ridiculous propaganda and ridiculous restrictions. It's just out of hand, and I have to worry about the community dividing and turning on itself. I've seen it constantly on Facebook. I've seen people just rip people down, up and down, because of a question they asked, and make them feel like they're completely like just nothing but scum of the earth, nothing but a piece of dirt. How are we going to belittle someone like that just because they asked a question that they didn't know about? We can't be like this. We can't be like this. That's why the hobby is not going to flourish. That's why the hobby is not going to grow. I'm not saying that I'm quitting drones or I'm quitting YouTube, right? Because let's talk about that. There's been a lot of people that have been quitting YouTube, and I have seen quite a bit of videos about people quitting YouTube. And yeah, the thought has crossed my mind of, oh yeah, what if I just quit, right? So, and I've taken breaks in the past, but since 2016, I have pumped hard into this channel. Matter of fact, for the last probably year, maybe 2-3 years, I have put out a video every single week on my channel. I don't know if any of you have ever done YouTube, but that is a lot of work. Let me tell you how much work that is, especially when you're working full time, you got a family to take care of, you have other things going on in the background. Having to take care of a YouTube channel and keep that going as well is tough. It is a lot of hard work. And I've been doing that since 2016. And when I took a break and just kind of stepped away and just lived my life in the moment, it felt amazing. It felt amazing to just kind of get away from the social media that I had been so engulfed in for so many years, get into a different hobby, focus my mind on that. Don't worry about all these letdowns for the moment, right? It felt good. And that kills me, that it felt good to walk away from the hobby, to walk away from something I love so much. It felt good, right? It felt good. So I walked away, and I want to come back more than ever because now I miss it. I miss flying. I miss the hobby. But honestly, I got to tell you, living life without it wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. However, that makes me angry. That makes me very angry that there's so many letdowns in the hobby led me to this place where I could stop flying for a couple months or maybe even half a year and be okay with that. You know, I love flying. I love progressing, but at the same time, I'm tired of being let down. I am tired of being threatened. As a Part 107, okay, you don't always have the option to not comply, right? I'm a Part 107 and a recreational flyer. You can be both. Don't let anybody tell you that you can't. You can be a recreational pilot when you want to, and you can be a 107 if you have your credentials. You can be a 107 when you want to. It's your choice. The thing is, now, if I want to be a recreational pilot, I can't share that video on YouTube and put any kind of monetary compensation on it, or it's no longer considered recreational. All right. Well, I like to share things, right? What if YouTube just automatically monetizes it? Boom. I'm going to get a hit right there. So you're kind of stuck in between a rock and a hard place where if you're only recreational, then yeah, you can fly, under 250 gram. You don't have to worry about the Remoteid. But for me, I like to fly the 5-inch. The 5-inch has always been my passion. 5-inch freestyle is my heart, and it always has been and always will be. I've flown 3.5 inch as well, and that feels great. It does. It feels almost as good as 5-inch, but there's something about that 5-inch and that sound and that power of it just screaming around, and it's so much fun and so immersive. That's what I love to fly, and that's what Remoteid is infringing upon. That's what it's making hard to comply. I got to be able to find these modules, and then if I can find them, I got to scrape up, $100 a piece for all my drones to be compliant. Whereas if you just go out and buy a camera drone, it's already got it built in. You ain't got to worry about it. Why should it be that different? Things are not right. If I want to fly a sub 250, a little tiny whoop drone, right? If I want to fly something like that, and I want to do something to put on my channel and share it, right? I got to have a 107 to do that, and it's got to have Remoteid on it. Remoteid is so large on that small drone that the drone wouldn't even fly if I put the Remoteid module on it. The hobby's not ready. The way it's written, it's not good. It's not good. It's not good at all. It's not good. The way things are written right now is not going well with the hobby. It doesn't take into account a lot of different aspects of this hobby. So it's just like, no, this doesn't work. It makes it terribly inconvenient, expensive for one side of the hobby. The other side of the hobby, they're not really that affected, which in turn divides the community, because now you have one side of the hobby that's being mostly compliant, then you have another side of the hobby that's maybe trying to be compliant. Some people are probably just not going to be compliant because it's ridiculous the way it's laid out, and they're like, no, I'm not doing this. This is ridiculous. This makes absolutely no sense that I have to spend all this extra money to do this, and then I got to sit here and break it every other flight. That's dumb. You're just going to keep throwing away money after money after money after money after money while you just buy one of these drones that doesn't do anything near the same type of experience. And this one's going to be ready to go, good to go. You don't have to worry about it breaking or nothing and paying more money once you buy it. It just makes no sense. It's not a one for all fix. So yeah, I know I've unpacked a lot in this video, guys, a lot. I wanted to see what you guys think down below. Have you seen some of the stuff going on in our community? Have you seen the battering of people for asking questions? Like, have you seen people just be, stressed out, depressed, anxious about the hobby because of all the letdowns that we constantly keep getting? Tired of the letdowns, man. It's just when you have a government involved with a hobby, it's going to have letdowns, a lot of letdowns, and it's dividing our community, and it's got to stop. It's got to stop, man. We should all be one community with each other. As long as we're not doing, nefarious, dangerous things, we're all one community. If you see somebody doing something that's unsafe, yeah, absolutely. You should call them out on it. But if you see somebody having a good time that's causing absolutely no risk to nobody, not hurting anything, hurting anyone, we shouldn't be quick to start doing the FAA's job for them. Let them handle that. Why do we as a community have to even get involved with that? Right? Once again, Wesley Varty, what an amazing pilot, one of the pioneers in this FPV hobby that pushed the limits so far and made the hobby grow in such positive ways, pushed the boundaries and limits of technology. Wesley Varty, man, you are one of my heroes in FPV, man. For somebody to sell him out, it just kills me, right? Anyway, no, I'm not quitting YouTube. That's not what this video is about, so don't let the clickbait get you. I'm not quitting YouTube. However, I am going to be making some changes because I noticed that, doing YouTube and doing it for fun is one thing, but then when it starts to become more of a job, and I started accepting everything that was being offered to review, and it got very overwhelming, and it burnt me out. I can't be reviewing things I'm not passionate about, that I'm not, highly interested in, right? It just burns me out. So moving forward, I'm getting away from the schedule as well. I pushed hard to have a video every single week for years on the channel. Please check out all my playlists. Everything is very well, detailed and organized. Please make sure you check all that out. But I'm telling you right now, I'm getting away from the schedule, and I'm going to just kind of do it as it feels right. You know what I'm saying? Like, if it feels right to do a video, I'm going to do it. If I'm passionate about something and I want to make a video on it, I'm going to put it on the channel. But I'm not going to just force something just to get a video out on the schedule anymore. I'm just not going to do it. I'm not going to make the push because I've really enjoyed it. I'm happily married now. I have a beautiful, amazing wife who's so supportive. I have a beautiful, amazing stepdaughter as well, her 11-year-old daughter. And I get the joy of helping to raise her and spend time with them as a family. And I have a full-time job that I'm doing, right? Monday through Friday, I am working, and I'm doing on-call rotations as well. Also trying to have fun in the hobby, make sure I get around and get to events and stuff like that. And I will be at Castle Crash this year, 100%. I'm going to Castle Crash. This has been one of the things that I have been wanting to do for years. I've wanted to go to Castle Crash, and this year it's going to happen. I'm going to get there. We're going to fly. We're going to have an amazing time just hanging out and having awesome times together, and all kinds of crazy competitions and contests going to be going on, and it's going to be amazing. I can't wait to get to Castle Crash this year. I'm so excited. But guys, man, we got to come together. We got to come together as a community, or things are not going to get better. I don't see any way things are going to get better, because the government isn't listening to what we've been saying. We tried to voice our opinion. It wasn't loud enough. It just didn't make enough of an impact to make the FAA do anything different that's going to actually make sense for the hobby on one side of it, the FPV side. All right. Camera drone side, it works. It does. It works. It's easy. It's not expensive, and it works. FPV, it's expensive, it not durable, doesn't work, breaks. It's just not right, not good. So of course you're going to have one side of the community that's going to be less compliant than the other, and that's causing a divide. It's causing people to sell out other people, just because, and you gotta also it also causes another divide in the FPV side of things too, right? Think about it. You got an FPV pilot who has spent the money, who has spent the time, who has done all the work to put the Remoteid module on their stuff, and they're doing what needs to be done, right? And then you have somebody who doesn't, and they're having the same experience, right? Don't you think the guy that put all the hard work into his quad to be legal is going to be ticked off because the other guy didn't? Yeah, more than likely. They're going to be ticked off because, oh, well, I did everything the way I was supposed to be here, but you didn't. So how's that fair, right? That's causing more divide. You see what I'm saying? Our community is divided, and it needs to stop, and we got to be able to get a better solution for Remoteid for FPV, because this ain't working. All right, not working. It's been awesome just to sit here and talk to you guys about everything that's been on my mind. I'm sorry if this video has been a little bit of a tangent or a rant. I just had a ton of stuff in my mind that I just needed to try and get out in the words, and I hope this video shows that. I hope this video does what I was wanting it to do, and I hope it is getting across the way I wanted to get across. I love this hobby, and I love our community. I don't love the divide, and I don't love all the things going on right now with the hobby, with the government, with the letdowns, with, oh, taking this drone away, you're gonna take DJI drones away. Like, enough is enough. Put your comment down below. Let me know what you think of this video, guys. Thanks so much. And there will be more videos to come on the channel. I do promise you that. But yeah, they're going to be when it feels right. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Till next time. Edrone out.